When buying items in either line, always enter code Aceface in the Support a Creator tab. This will make it so 5% of the purchase will support me at no extra cost to you, so I appreciate it a lot. Hello everybody, my name is Aceface, welcome back to the glorious T0 to T6 Abyss series. The best series, the only series that I've had on this channel that's gone on for such a long time. Being able to do these sites over and over again until we hit T6. We've been on T5 for quite a long time, but we're making strides to the T6, like we always say. Here we've got some lucid waves, so we're just going to quickly get the drones on the case and get some sniping with the Scorch, and then it'll be alright. The wardens, maybe we want to take them out first, could be an idea. Armor repair also good to use, there we go, and then we go for the Conflagration. You guys might realize that, okay, this series is quite repetitive. It's the same thing. We've been doing Abyss sites over and over again. The things that have changed is our fit slightly, and then also the TF sites over time. Not so often, but it does change. The main purpose of this series is just to show and document the full experience, the full journey. So realistically, you can understand how much goes into being able to get to T6 from absolutely nothing and just doing abyssal sites. We could have... Oh, we lost a drone. That's unfortunate. Just straight away, just losing a drone like that is not smooth. But we could have done this perhaps a bit quicker if we were to have done some exploration. I think in the beginning especially, exploration, where you're doing the combat exploration, for the DD sites, especially like for people who are sort of starting out, that ISK is very good compared to the abyssal sites because the loot drops you can occasionally get are very high. They can also sometimes be really bad as well, so the abyss is going to be a lot more consistent. What we've been showing so far, it's not been like RNG fest. This is something that anyone could do. It's not like we have had occasionally a few good drops, but it's nothing that has sort of carried us all the way to where we are now. We would have gotten by just fine without the good loot drops we had before. It would have maybe been a few episodes back, but otherwise it's not going to be a big difference. This is a very consistent way we're documenting here. But I was actually considering at one point to use some DD sites just so that we can sort of simulate us being able to get to T6 as quick as possible by any means necessary. But I felt like the Abyss sites were pretty good. We had invested all our skills into abyssal running based ships. So I think it was still a good choice the way we've decided to do things. But if I were to do something different again, it would have been when I was doing the Punisher and Retribution stuff in the beginning. The T1s and the T2s a little bit. At that point I would have done a lot of the high-stick exploration. Maybe. As a bit of variations and just doing the same thing over and over again, I'm missing this guy quite a bit, so it could be good to use some drones here. There's a lot of webbing going on. We want to destroy that upholder. He is causing problems with the speed. Oh no, drones they take so much drone damage here. So much drone damage. Good, now we're at max speed. Get close to this guy here. Keep a range 500. That should be it. And then launch this MTU right about here. That's good. That's good, that's good. We just chill here. And we should be using Imperial Navy actually because of the better tracking. Sometimes I think that I have a hard time deciding Conflagration or Imperial Navy because the Conflagration does do significantly more damage than the Imperial Navy. So in my mind, I sometimes feel like perhaps the few missed shots could be made up by the Conflagration's increased DPS. Maybe. I'm not really 100% sure what in the long run would be good. You have to look over damage graphs, and it obviously depends a lot on your transversal. I can use Conflagration on these guys perfectly well if I manage to web them and get a good angle, like I move away from them so that I get a good transversal. Then it'll be no problem. But if I'm still like this, and they've got good they're able to orbit us well, then it can be difficult. Losing drones all the time. So much drone aggro from these people. Difficult. It's difficult. It's rough. Rough, rough, rough. Almost there. The site is taking a little longer than I would have hoped. Just over 5 minutes. The sleep waves are usually pretty easy. There's 12 million. Pretty meh. Let's go to the transfer conduit there. Let's quickly wreck this guy. And go to the next room. Correct. Now I'll use the Scorch. Snipe these fools. Scorch. Charybdis. Charybdis. Oh, we've got a multi-body tracking power right there. It could be a good opportunity to take out some of the cruisers. Entanglers are good to destroy. Let's see, this one is closest, so that'll be a good target. Get a bit close to that extraction node before we can set the draws on him. Oh no, run out of charges. Let's take out these entanglers before we get wrecked here. Conflagration, because these guys slow us down a significant amount. Oh, there's a bit of damage going to the drones as well from the demon automatic suppressors. Okay. There was a transfer conduit here. Charybdis is firing away at us. I don't really worry too much about Charybdis in this Zealot. This Zealot is so powerful. We've got really powerful stuff. We've 2.8 billion ISK. And we've, on top of that, got some pretty good implants as well. We've not got a full implant set, and that's sort of what we're saving up for the T6. But the implant set is the limiting factor. We've got really good tank. And I'm actually considering to just get the extra damage. I've got actually an extra damage module in my hangar, but I'm considering to put that on our Zealot so we have a triple damage module set up, because right now we've got 2 heat sinks, and I think that we could be at the point where we've got so good tank that it would be worth it to go for the triple damage module setup. Because the main thing is that in our low slots we've got lots of tank modules with the armor repairs here and everything. So if we're going to put the damage module, then it would be replacing it with this thermal armor hardener. I think it would be enough for the T5s that we're doing now, and we would get them done quicker as well. So we're pretty good. And something you have to think about is just because you're removing tank, it doesn't mean that you are becoming 100% less tanky from removing that tank module in of itself by replacing it when you replace it with a DPS module. Because when we remove that tank module and replace it with a DPS module, you have to also think that we're getting the sites done quicker, and that means less DPS off the field, even though it is, or not less DPS, more DPS off the field quicker. So it means that even though it's going to just be a slight increase in DPS, we are going to have, all in all, less incoming DPS, you could say, because we're going to destroy stuff just a bit quicker. So it does indirectly help a little bit with the tank. Not at all as much as the tank modules themselves, but it's not completely 100% wasted. I would say probably, if I were to give a guess, if I remove 100 HP per second of tank, but I replace it with a damage module, then maybe it's equivalent to removing 80 HP of tank, because we are compensating with a little bit extra DPS, removing more DPS from the field quicker. That's my guess. I don't know if you guys have any guess. That's a concept there, where increased offense is also a good defense in some cases. It's definitely the case in certain ratting setups as well. When I destroy the rats so quickly, it just doesn't matter that we've got low tank, because we just destroy everything really quickly. In those high-sec sites, you know, the high-sec ones where the Nagristis dens, Nagristis refuges, those guys, in cheap ships, low-skilled ones, I try to have stuff that can kill the enemies quickly, so then I don't have to stress too much about the tank. So even though the tank probably won't be sustainable by just sitting there doing nothing, but if you actually actively fight with guns, then you are able to get through them. I really noticed that with the Cormorant in an alpha setup, where if I were to just sit there, I would get killed. But if I were to use the railguns and just actively destroy them, then I would actually survive, no problem. And that shows that, you know, more DPS by just shooting, not just sitting there, made it so that I could survive. Okay, let's go towards the MTU here. We should use the drones as well. I just want to be a little bit careful with the drones. When they're very close to the edge, then it can cause problems where they get flung out, you know. But we'll move towards the MTU over there. That's good. Now we've wrecked this guy. And we did it in a pretty timely manner, I would say. And check here what the increase of the DPS will be if we were to remove this thermal armor hardener and put an extra one. Ooh, that's actually a pretty good increase in DPS. We get over 10% increase in DPS, actually. So could definitely be an idea. Could definitely be an idea. I'm going to think on it a little bit, but I don't know how much this thermal armor hardener is helping. Well, I know it is helping. If it is helping so much that it is worth to completely just have 2 damage modules. If we completely remove it and replace it with a 3rd damage module, if that's going to be worth it. The thing is, this thermal armor hardener helps a lot, actually, because a lot of these NPCs in the Abyss, they do thermal damage that are very deadly. Triglavians, for example, were very deadly, and it helps. Like, we just don't care at all. But the thing is, we don't care at all. So I'm thinking that, okay, maybe we'll care a little bit, but we'll still tank it fine if we just replace it with a DPS module. Ooh, nice. Ooh, that's pretty good. Especially since we'll have more DPS, so we'll destroy them very quickly. Oh, where's this glorified, decayed, gyrostabilized lamutoplasmid? Where's this? I've never seen this before. Is this like a special one or something? I'm gonna have to check that out later. 12 million ISK. Oh, okay, so it's nothing crazy, but still something interesting that I've never seen before. It's glorified stuff. What's that? That's very cool. I wonder if it costs a lot of resources, all this stuff here. Mutoplasmid residue. Yeah, you get that mutoplasmid residue, I think it was from recycling or something. Modules that are already affected by abyssal bricks. Okay, let's see here. All these caches are very far away. We need to be quick here, actually, because there's not so much time left. We'll send drones here. And just send drones quickly towards the extraction node. Should be alright. Send over this bioadaptive here. We can send it back to the Lucid Deep Watch over there. Obviously, we actually want to have them go for the extraction node. This one here. There we go. And then we go close to this one. Are we able to hit a little bit? Very tiny grazing shots we're able to do, but hardly anything. Oh, we lost a drone again. We just lose drones all the time. Lost so far 3 drones. It's very difficult. These acolytes are pretty flimsy. Bonus light drones. You're never going to have a good time with tanking with these drones. There we go. Deploy another one here. We'll just go straight in. We don't care here. This Zealot doesn't really mind the DPS from the Lucid Deep Watchers. Look at those missiles. They're just floating there. Oh, yes. Let's do this and put the Conflag MTU out here. And then we orbit this at 500. That's good. Now I've got a good position. And no deviant automatic suppress, so we can actually utilize our drone. That's good. But I'm impressed, actually. Look at that DPS when we replace this. 900 plus DPS. That's crazy. Actually very crazy. T6 Zealot. That's a really good DPS. So I would like to do that, but not sure about the tank, you know. If it's going to be enough. But we do tank pretty well, actually. T6. It's got same low slots, exactly same setup. The difference is the massive boost we get from those implants. A really amazing buffs you get from those implants. I think we would definitely survive the T5s by just replacing that damage module, but I think that perhaps some ways it would be a little bit difficult. Maybe. Like Charybdis could be difficult. It would be nice to go there with 900 plus DPS. That would be nice. Not just any DPS, instantly applied DPS that is really strong. These drones are basically like ammo. I'm going to replace them all the time. It feels impossible to avoid losing them. You're going to lose them sooner or later. Small mistakes can be made and then you just suddenly lose a ton of drones. I know you can avoid losing them, but it's very difficult to completely avoid all the time. Sometimes you're sort of forced to. You're sort of forced to be in a location where there is a lot of default automatic suppressors, and then suddenly it's like a bunch of short range ones and you have to recall them, and you're focusing on just surviving other priorities, and then these guys get left behind. Okay, let's see what we got here. Anything good? Anything spicy? Small disintegrated specialization. That used to be worth so much. Fortunately not anymore. But we got actually pretty good loot here. 94 million ISK actually, that's very good. I'm happy about that. Dank loot in the T5s with the Zealot. Making our way to the T6. You can see here, 38 million ISK. We want to get the implants. So we'll see which is the next implant that is possible for us to get. We've not got so much ISK right now, only 38 million, but eventually we'll get there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.